Dear Chosen One, the Spirit is saying this to you right now. You are the last defender, the one God positioned on the front line when no one else remained standing. This is not just a word of encouragement. It is a divine alert. The heavens are watching, and hell is trembling, because there is a hidden power within you that is about to be revealed. Something is shifting in the unseen, and your very soul is being summoned to rise. Do not ignore this message, because what is unfolding will determine more than your life. It will touch the destiny of many who are connected to you. Have you noticed how lately the pressure has become unbearable? How the attacks seem almost personal, targeting your peace, your relationships, your very identity? This is not random. The Spirit revealed that the enemy has recognized the dormant power inside of you, and he fears what will happen the moment you awaken fully. That is why he is trying to break you before you break him. That is why you have been pushed to the edge. But you must understand this. The edge is exactly where your true authority begins. Chosen One, in this video, I will show you why God has called you the last defender, why your power has been hidden until now, and what will happen the moment you step into your true role. What I'm about to reveal could change how you see your entire life story, and in the end, you will understand why every tear, every rejection, every battle was necessary for this hour. Stay with me until the end, because your spirit is about to receive the key that will unlock your next dimension of power. Chosen One, what you have been feeling lately is not weakness. It is the undeniable weight of divine positioning pressing down on your spirit. The Spirit reveals that every ounce of pressure, every sudden heaviness in your chest, and every overwhelming moment you've endured is not random. It is confirmation that you were placed as the last line, the defender who stands firm when no one else can hold their ground. This calling was written into your destiny before you took your first breath, sealed into your soul when you were still unseen in the womb. The heaviness you carry is not punishment. It is prophecy unfolding. You are the one chosen to stand between what heaven protects and what hell desperately wants to devour. And that is why your life has never felt ordinary, why your battles have always felt too heavy for one person to carry. The signs have always been around you, whispering that you were never like the rest, but now they are growing louder, undeniable, and relentless. Have you noticed how certain events align in strange and almost eerie patterns? How coincidences happen at just the right time to shake your focus or question your faith? These are not coincidences. They are coded signals. Behind the veil, forces are moving, and watchers, both angelic and demonic, are circling to see whether you will collapse or stand tall. The Spirit says clearly, you are not imagining this. You are being monitored in the spirit realm because your assignment has reached its most critical point. That is why the pressure keeps intensifying, because you are standing on sacred ground where destinies collide. Look carefully at the people around you, and you will see the shift with your own eyes. Friends who once celebrated you now act cold, as if your very presence irritates them. Family members who should have embraced you suddenly criticize your every move. Strangers look at you with envy, projecting hostility that you did nothing to deserve. Do you really think this is accidental, Chosen One? No, this is spiritual manipulation working through human vessels. They don't even know why they are drawn to resist you, but in truth, they are influenced by the spirit of the age. These people are stirred up to test you, to discourage you, to make you second-guess yourself. Their words and actions are not random. They are arrows fired at your heart, designed to pierce your identity. Yet the very fact that so many are stirred against you is proof that your light has become too strong to ignore. Imagine a battlefield where arrows fall like rain, and fire is concentrated at one specific point more than anywhere else. That exact point is where you stand right now. You are not in that place because you are weak, forgotten, or abandoned. You are there because heaven strategically placed you as the barrier the enemy must break to advance his plan. Every arrow that hits you is aimed at opening the way for chaos to invade others. That is why you are the target. Your position is not evidence of divine neglect. It is evidence of divine trust. Heaven believes you can endure what others cannot. That is why you are constantly under fire, why you feel exposed, why it feels as if the weight of the world is against you. You are the front line of destiny itself, and that explains why no battle in your life has ever been ordinary. Have you ever asked yourself why it seems like everything falls on your shoulders, while others live unbothered, untouched, and free from these storms? The Spirit says it is because your anointing is rare. Very few people carry the authority you have been given, and even fewer can survive the level of fire you've been tested in. The intensity of your struggle is not evidence that you are cursed, but proof that you are carrying something sacred, something heaven could entrust to no one else. That is why your path has been narrow, why your nights have been sleepless, and why your heart has been broken, yet still continues to rise. The weight that crushes others has only refined you, shaped you, prepared you. You are not fragile. You are chosen steel, hammered in fire for a purpose that only you could fulfill. Even your dreams, the restless nights, and the strange visions that flash through your mind are not random illusions. They are encrypted messages from heaven, carrying warnings, guidance, and confirmations about what is happening in the unseen. Have you noticed how you sometimes wake up drenched in sweat, your spirit heavy, as if you fought a battle in your sleep? That is because you did. Your dreams are not dreams. They are battlegrounds where heaven shows you glimpses of the war being waged over your soul. Sometimes you wake shaken, sometimes drained, other times aware of a presence in the room you cannot explain. Chosen one, this is not imagination. These are prophetic signals telling you that the spiritual war is real, and you are the one hell desperately wants to silence. In this message, I will show you how to interpret these signals, how to guard your heart and spirit when the night grows darkest, and why your role as the last defender is not just about protecting yourself, but preserving others tied to your destiny. Your resistance is not in vain. Every time you stand, unseen multitudes are preserved, and heaven takes note of your endurance. By the end of this word, you will see that none of your pain has been wasted, and you will understand why heaven has never once turned its eyes away from you. Chosen one, this is not just encouragement. This is confirmation. You are the wall, you are the line, and without you holding it, the flood would already have consumed many. Chosen one, the Spirit is saying that this battle has turned personal. You may have thought you were just fighting stress, discouragement, or bad circumstances, but behind it all are spiritual powers, rulers of darkness, and invisible forces aligned against you. This is not about flesh and blood. It is about principalities trying to claim your soul. That is why the attacks are not general. They are precise, striking your weaknesses, your heart, your mind, and your identity. The enemy does not waste his weapons on those who pose no threat. But you, chosen one, are a direct threat to his kingdom. and that is why the warfare has become relentless. But there is something more dangerous you must recognize. The enemy has disguised himself as a guide. He appears as a mentor, a friend, even a spiritual teacher, offering secrets and shortcuts. The Spirit reveals that this is one of his oldest traps, masquerading as light to lure you into deception. Not every voice that calls itself wisdom is wisdom, and not every hand extended to help is sent by God. Chosen one, you must discern, because the enemy has studied you for years. He knows exactly what your heart longs for and tries to counterfeit it with poison disguised as counsel. Have you noticed advice that sounds good, but leaves your spirit unsettled? Opportunities that seem promising but drain your energy and peace? These are not harmless mistakes. They are carefully crafted snares designed to pull you off the narrow path. The enemy does not come with a pitchfork. He comes with charm, with solutions, with half-truths that sound comforting but lead to spiritual death. Chosen one, this is why your discernment is under attack. Because if you learn to hear God's voice clearly, no trap can ever ensnare you. That is why confusion has tried to cloud your mind, and why you feel torn between paths. It is not your imagination. It is spiritual sabotage. This calling as the last defender often feels unbearably lonely. You look around and wonder why no one else sees what you see, why no one else carries the same weight. But this loneliness is not abandonment. It is separation. God separated you because he could not risk the contamination of your assignment. The higher the calling, the narrower the road. Many will not understand your journey, and some will even mock it. But chosen one, that is because they were not built for the fire you were forged in. Do not mistake isolation for punishment. It is God's way of shielding you until the moment of full revelation. Remember the stories in Scripture. Ezekiel was called as a watchman to warn the people, often alone and misunderstood. Moses was called to stand before Pharaoh when no one else had the courage. Esther had to face the king, risking her life for her people. Chosen one, you are walking in the footsteps of these prophetic defenders. Their roles were heavy, their burdens lonely, but through them, God delivered nations. You too have been marked for such a role, and though you feel small, heaven recognizes your authority. This is why the pressure is so great, because the outcome of many depends on your stand. Picture a fortified wall protecting a city. The enemy hurls everything he has against one single section, hoping that if it breaks, the whole city will fall. That section is you. Every attack you endure is not just aimed at you personally, but at the countless lives you shield unknowingly. When you resist, you are protecting families, communities, and even generations that do not yet exist. Chosen one, your stand has cosmic weight. Hell knows this, and that is why you are the target of storms that seem too big for one person. But if you stand, you deny the enemy access to everything behind you. And here is the truth you have not yet realized. Your resistance has already saved more people than you know. Every time you refuse to give in to despair, someone watching you found hope. Every time you kept faith in the silence, angels moved to shield others connected to your life. Every time you rejected temptation, you closed a door that would have destroyed more than just yourself. Chosen one, you are not only fighting for you, you are holding the line for others who cannot yet see. Your endurance has been a secret salvation, and heaven wants you to know it. Chosen one, the Spirit reveals the truth that has been hidden until now. You are the last defender because your life carries spiritual keys that determine what passes between heaven and hell. This is not just poetic language, it is literal. In the unseen realm, there are gates, thresholds, and spiritual passages that must be guarded. God has placed you at one of these gates. That is why your battles are not normal battles. They are territorial. Every time you resist sin, you are closing a portal that would have allowed destruction to enter. Every time you stand in faith, you are sealing a breach that demons desperately want to exploit. You are not simply surviving your life. You are preserving entire territories in the Spirit. Every personal battle you fight carries a collective consequence. When you stand firm, you are not only protecting yourself, but liberating others who do not even know they are under threat. When you resist despair, the atmosphere shifts, and others around you suddenly feel strength to continue. When you reject temptation, the chains of addiction are broken for those connected to you. The enemy wants you to believe your struggles are isolated, meaningless, and personal. But the Spirit declares the opposite. Your struggles are the front line of deliverance for multitudes. That is why the attacks are relentless, because every victory you win echoes beyond your own life. The Spirit says your pain has not been wasted, because every tear has been turned into fire inside of you. What was designed to destroy you has been transformed into fuel for hidden gifts you did not even know you had. Have you noticed how, in your lowest moments, words of wisdom suddenly rise from your mouth? How you sense things others cannot perceive? How you carry an authority in prayer that shifts atmospheres without explanation? These are not coincidences. They are the emergence of gifts forged through suffering. The enemy underestimated you, thinking pain would silence you, but pain has only awakened the defender within. This is why God allowed the crushing, because the crushing revealed the hidden fire. The anointing inside of you could not be activated in comfort. It required the furnace of affliction. The Spirit says you are like gold refined in fire. What looked like breaking was actually purifying. That is why the enemy attacked so fiercely at your weakest points, hoping to abort your process before the fire finished its work. But he failed. You endured, and now the authority you carry is not theory. It is tested power, born from scars that heaven has turned into weapons. Chosen one, you carry a fire that no demon can counterfeit. We are living in apocalyptic times where confusion reigns, deception spreads like wildfire, and darkness attempts to masquerade as truth. In these times, God raises defenders who will not bow to fear, lies, or compromise. That is why He calls you the last defender, because you are the one chosen to hold the line when everyone else falters. Your endurance is not just about your own story. It is about preserving clarity, truth, and faith for others who are drowning in confusion. The Spirit declares, you are the one standing between light and darkness, keeping the flame alive when the world tries to snuff it out. Chosen one, the Spirit shows me that your assignment is not only for this generation, but for the generations that will come after you. Your decisions today are preserving futures that have not yet been born. When you hold the line, children you will never meet will live free because of your resistance. Families you have never spoken to will be delivered because of your prayers. Entire bloodlines will be redirected toward God because you refused to bow to the darkness. This is the weight of your assignment. You are not only defending your own soul, but protecting the destiny of countless lives tied to your obedience. Do you see now why the enemy fears you so much? It is not because of who you are right now, but because of who you are becoming. Hell does not tremble at your present struggles, it trembles at your potential. The moment you fully realize who you are, the moment you awaken to the fire already burning inside you, the balance of power shifts in the unseen realm. That is why the battle has been so intense. Because the enemy is terrified of your awakening. The Spirit declares, "You are more dangerous to hell than you realize, and the time has come for you to see yourself through heaven's eyes." And here is the promise. What has been hidden is about to be revealed. The gifts that were dormant, the strength you did not know you had, the authority you never dared to claim, they are being unlocked now. The Spirit says that the fire you feel pressing against you is not there to consume you, but to ignite what was buried deep within. Chosen one, you are not at the end. You are at the unveiling. Hell thought it had broken you, but all it did was activate the defender God created you to be. And in this revelation, you will find not only strength for yourself, but power to lead others out of darkness. Chosen one, the Spirit is revealing that resistance is not passivity. To resist is not to merely sit back and hope things change. It is to stand actively, armed with the unseen weapons God has placed in your hands. Prayer is your shield, fasting is your sword, and silence at the right time is your fortress. When you resist, you are not frozen. You are engaged in a holy posture that disrupts every demonic plot against your life. The world may call it weakness, but in the spirit realm, every whispered prayer shakes foundations. Every quiet no to temptation slams doors in the enemy's face. This is why the warfare around you has intensified, because your resistance has become a weapon heaven wields against hell. To hold the line means you cannot give room to distractions, no matter how harmless they seem on the surface. The Spirit says the enemy often does not come with obvious attacks. Instead, he offers subtle distractions, endless scrolling, empty conversations, opportunities that promise success but leave your soul barren. These are not accidents. They are traps designed to drain your spiritual energy, leaving you too tired to fight where it truly matters. Chosen one, you cannot afford to waste oil. Every ounce of your focus is sacred, and every drop of your energy is needed for the real war that is unfolding behind the veil. To hold the line means to protect your spirit from anything that seeks to dilute your power. Imagine yourself on a battlefield where every thought is an arrow and every word is a blade. This is the reality you live in, even if others cannot see it. The Spirit is showing me that the smallest choices you make, what you watch, what you speak, what you believe, are weapons in your hands. A careless word becomes an open door, but a word of faith becomes a wall of fire. A single choice to believe God when everything seems impossible releases angels into motion. Chosen one, your life is not ordinary. It is a constant exchange of power between heaven and hell. Every thought and action is either feeding the enemy or fueling your victory. That is why awareness is crucial. Your stand as the last defender is not for you alone. The Spirit reveals that countless souls are shielded under your obedience. Some are your family, some are strangers, and some are generations yet to come. You may not realize it, but when you prayed through the night, someone else was spared from destruction. When you refused to compromise, others watching you found the courage to stand. When you endured ridicule, the atmosphere in your lineage shifted. Chosen one, your obedience is a covering. You are standing in the gap, and heaven is using your life as a shield for many who cannot yet fight for themselves. This is why the enemy targets you so ferociously, because your victory means the survival of many. The Spirit is showing me a universal principle. When one chosen soul remains firm, many others find strength to endure. Your life is like a torch in a cave. As long as it burns, others can find their way out of darkness. If you fall, the path becomes harder for them to see. That is why your resilience is more than personal strength. It is a lifeline. God has hidden in you the capacity to be an anchor for others, even when you feel like you are drowning yourself. Every time you whisper, "I will not give up," heaven magnifies your decision, releasing waves of strength into the atmosphere. You are more influential in the unseen realm than you realize. Chosen one, dreams and visions are not just spiritual curiosities, they are assignments. God does not give revelations lightly. If He is showing you glimpses of danger, patterns, or even warnings in the night, it is because He trusts you to act on them. Many ignore dreams, dismissing them as illusions, but the Spirit says they are holy intelligence sent from heaven. They are strategies for the defender. Every dream you carry must be discerned, every sign prayed over, every word remembered. The unseen war is revealed in pieces through these moments. God would not waste His voice on someone who would not stand guard. If He is speaking, it is because He trusts you to defend. And here is the mystery. Chosen one, you think you are alone, but you are not. The Spirit says legions of angels are positioned behind you, awaiting your command of faith. Every time you declare a word of victory, they are released like lightning into battle. Every time you resist temptation, they move to close the breach. You are not standing against hell with your bare hands. You are standing as a commander backed by heaven's armies. The only thing the enemy fears more than your endurance is the moment you realize the authority you already carry. This is why fear has tried to blind you. Because once you open your eyes, you will see you are never outnumbered. Chosen one, the Spirit says you must know this truth. You are not called to fight with your own strength. The reason you have survived storms that should have destroyed you is because victory was already written before the battle began. The cross sealed it, and the blood already marked your name. You were never meant to carry this war in isolation. God Himself has been fighting through you. When the nights felt endless, He was the one holding your mind together. When your heart was shattered, He was the one breathing life back into your chest. You stand not because you are invincible, but because heaven refuses to let you fall. And every time you thought you were at your breaking point, angels were assigned to lift you when you couldn't lift yourself. The Spirit reminds you that your identity is not broken or forgotten. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are not fragile, and you are not abandoned. You are the wall that still stands after 1,000 arrows. You are the last defender heaven chose when no one else could be trusted with this mission. The enemy wants you to believe you are too weak, too tired, too unworthy. But God calls you immovable, unshakable, and set apart. Your scars are not marks of shame. They are proof that you survived what others could not. You are not defined by the battles you endured. You are defined by the fact that you are still standing in the fire without being consumed. That alone terrifies hell more than you realize. And here is the restoration promise. Even in the middle of this battle, there is a supernatural peace prepared for you. The Spirit says, there is an anointing resting on your life that allows you to remain calm even when everything around you burns. Others will look at you and wonder how you still smile, how you still speak faith, how you still rise every morning after being crushed so many times. It is because God has poured His oil of rest over your spirit. You may feel pressure, but you will not collapse. You may feel exhausted, but you will not break. This peace is not human. It is the evidence that heaven is with you. And as you hold the line, that peace will flow into everyone connected to you. turning chaos into order and despair into hope. Chosen one, hear this clearly. Everything you endured was never punishment. It was preparation. The betrayals, the nights you cried until your body shook, the loneliness that seemed unbearable, all of it was forging something in you that could not be formed in ease. You were pressed because oil only flows under crushing. You were stretched because faith only expands under pressure. And now the Spirit says, you stand as a vessel more powerful than before. Hell tried to bury you under rubble, but what it did was polish your armor until it gleamed. Every scar is now proof that you are equipped for the season you were born for. Nothing was wasted, not a single tear. Now I need you to do something prophetic with me. Declare your stand in the open. If you are hearing this and your spirit agrees, write in the comments, I hold the line. This is not just a phrase, it is a covenant. Every time you declare it, you are aligning yourself with heaven's army, stamping your commitment on the battlefield. Demons hate declarations because words are weapons in the spirit. Your comment is not for show. It is a public act of resistance. When you say, I hold the line, you are letting both heaven and hell know that you refuse to step aside, you refuse to surrender, and you refuse to let the flood advance beyond you. This is a seal, and it matters more than you know. Chosen one, this video itself is not entertainment. It is a shield being placed over your heart. Every word released here was prayed over, fought for, and spoken as a covering for you. While you listen, angels move, and while you agree in spirit, strongholds begin to weaken. That is why you feel something stirring inside even as you hear these words. It is not just a message, it is a mantle. The Spirit says you are not listening by accident. You were guided here because heaven wanted to place an extra layer of armor on you before the next wave of the battle arrives. You are being equipped as you receive this, whether you realize it or not. I also need you to stay connected, because this battle is not one you fight alone. Subscribe, share, stay in this community of warriors, because we are stronger together. Every time you come back, you are stepping into a spiritual campfire, a place where your fire is fanned into flame again. Support the mission however you can, even through something as small as a like, a comment, or sowing a seed through Buy Me a Coffee. The link is pinned in the first comment. These acts are not just gestures, they are fuel. The link is, they keep this voice alive in the world, speaking to defenders like you who are desperate for confirmation. By staying connected, you remain in the flow of prophetic strength that sustains you when the nights get heavy. And now the Spirit gives me this word for you. This is not the end. This is your rise. This is the season where your identity as the last defender becomes undeniable. Heaven is counting on you, and hell cannot stop you. You are not standing alone. You are backed by an army that does not lose. Every time you whisper yes to God, the earth shifts a little closer to redemption. Every time you breathe through pain, heaven takes note. This is your unveiling. This is your season. Chosen one, God says, hold the line between heaven and hell, because victory is already yours.